Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. Over the middle, it's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Jets had 5 and 6 to start play. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown! And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Ready, go, jet!
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Counter play with Jacobs, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Looking to throw. Turner. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. But he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
A run on 1st down with Jacobs as he'll get this forward for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Turner. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. picked off by Ashton Davis. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, they'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you talk about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Turner under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And go in the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Jets are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 49 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver, and as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now Lawrence. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, 3rd and goal now from the 12. Lawrence will throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Turner. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect it with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Turner. He's got his man. It's Andrews. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Off the play fake. Turner. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a throw here, hauled in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw is Turner on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Lawrence. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Lawrence. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
He finds his man, complete. It's Andrews. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Hey, back up.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Okay, ready? Check, man. Row 52. Check.
Turner now. A final shot before break. Looking deep for Adams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 25. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. This one caught by Kittle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Raiders get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball again on 2nd down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jets take a 3-touchdown lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right. And my goodness, another interception. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it, and he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick six, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
And now here's another interception. A feather in the cap for the defender, picking up one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they have their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin.
Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Trevor Lawrence keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Jets get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Turner. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ashton Davis. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now Hall to start the drive. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hall again on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. Then he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And the Raiders pick it up. Look at the big man rumble. The 40, 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Ready?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up first and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
He finds his man, complete. It's Andrews. Touchdown, Raiders. From 8 yards out. And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to give them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
On the ready.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Lawrence. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Double.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Here's Gibson to start the drive. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And here's Turner looking to throw on second down. And Andrews lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. This is intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Let's go.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey, check Vegas.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Turner, off play action. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Turner. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Turner. And now here is another interception. Pass, and now off off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Let's go now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Mustang 19.
1st and 10, it's Willis. He finds Kittle going across the field. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Check contact. Check contact.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Willis with another keeper. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Lawrence to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can...
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah. Take off the foo-foo. Take off the cloud chase. Take off the Wi-Fi. Take off the money phone. Take off the car loan. Take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry. I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricate streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols. Take off the runway. Take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro Pay. 5-day stay. Take off for the meal. Hella final. Take off the fuck flag. Take off reception. Take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure. Take off the unsure. Take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep. Take off the fake woke. Take off the I'm broke. I care. Take off the gossip. Take off the new logic that if I'm rich I'm real. Take off the Chanel. Take off the Doja. Take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly.
You out of pocket.
2 ATMs, you stepping to what?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they talk about us?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they carry up for us?
Get back in pocket.
The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't Monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly.
You out of pocket.
2 ATMs, you stepping to what?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they talk about us?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they carry up for us?
Serving up a look, dancing in a drop. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe.
Can I vent out my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and pools. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Hold up.
Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show, don't credit. When you show your bro for leverage.
What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant?
You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? You gossip.
What the is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like Oprah, dog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Ay, I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So